What's up, team? Traders War Room wants to thank you, the viewer, for coming along with us on this journey. Make sure you check out the description tab as it has links to online brokerage, social media platforms, and also everything covered in the video will have a link so that you can go back and research it at your time. Let's go to war.
What is up, team? Chuck with Traders War Room, and I'm back at you with another video. Listen, this is your Sunday Motivator, and happy Easter to everyone out there. I hope you guys are having a great Easter weekend, and I hope that you guys are celebrating and taking some time for you and enjoying your friends and your family, and just overall just taking a little bit of break from the stock market and just enjoying life, okay? But listen, we're going to talk about a lot in this video. I need you to like, share, subscribe, join the team, join the community, Facebook, Twitter, Discord, YouTube. We got it all, okay? We're going to talk about the infrastructure bill and what sectors might be primed to explode and profit from this. And we're going to try to capture some of those gems so that we can also profit on our ends as well, okay? So, as always, if you're ready, follow me and let's go to war.
Traders War Room wants to remind the viewer that everything covered on this channel is for education and entertainment purposes only. You are responsible for every move and decision you make within your stock market journey. Let's go to war.
All right, team. Hey, welcome back. First and foremost, I need to thank every single team member for coming along with us on this journey, okay? I don't care what social media platform you use. Every single one of you has great input, and you guys really drive the content and the discussion points and the information that we put out as moderators and administrators on all the social media platforms. So thank you for coming with us on this journey, okay? Now, let's dive into this infrastructure bill. Let's dissect it a little bit. We're going to pull out a couple of the industries, and then we're going to dive into some of the stocks that are primed to pop from this infrastructure bill if it gets passed. So let's get it.
So here it is. I'm using the Wall Street Journal's version of this, Biden's infrastructure plan visualized. I like this because it shows pictures and graphs and breaks down the different sectors and parts of where the money is going to go to within this bill, or the proposed areas where the money is wanting to go to in this bill. So I'm going to put some other resource links within the description, and there'll be different ways to look at the same data and a different spin on it, but whatever fits your flavor for learning, just use that and follow along. All right, and here you go is the breakdown. You see that we got transportation, home and community-based care for disabled and the elderly, manufacturing, job creation, innovation, utilities, buildings, and education. I like this. It gives me the breakout, and it gives me the dollar amount that's associated with the individual sectors. So here's the transportation. We got $620 billion in transportation spending that would go towards upgrading roads, bridges, and other parts of nation infrastructure. I really like this part. If you're like me and you drive from point A to point B, I can't count how many times I have to swerve or I see some sort of damage on the road that I think, man, I got to be careful of this spot because I don't want to damage my car. So I'm looking forward to this part of the bill. Consumers also would get tax incentives to buy electric vehicles. That's part of the $174 billion investment in that industry. And this also includes building a national framework or network for 500,000 electric vehicle charging stations by 2030. So we're putting our investor hat on, remember, and we're thinking about underlying stocks that would be associated with these different type of moves where the money's going to be made or the money's going to be placed in. And so here's your breakout. As you see, you got 174 in EVs. We talked about that. Bridges and highways and roads next. Public transit, passenger and freight trains, disaster safeguarding, airports, road safety, access to disadvantaged communities, waterways, and coastal ports. So, really need to start thinking about all these different sectors and what stocks associated with this and which ones would be the winners, because stocks are all going to be winners and losers. You can't get away from that. But we want to really focus on the ones that have the best chance to really produce that upward momentum and that upward trend so we can get in low while the stock's been getting beat up, and we can ride these high so that we can make profit and potentially get in cheap on certain stocks that will be long-term investments and be very good in the future. So like I said, this is where we put our investor cap on, and I did a simple screener search and I got transportation infrastructure, and these are the stocks that popped up. And then, we looking at the percent change and the list price, and we noticed that, oh, one of them, CAAP, that's already been one of the stocks that we bought into with the you pick it, I buy it stock. So maybe that one would be primed to be one of those that pops if this bill gets passed. You don't know, but these are the things we need to do, is watch these and keep these on our watch list and look out for them. And just to give one more example, I did another screener for automobiles and auto parts because it talks about the EV sector, and here's what we got popped up. And I used the percent change because I like that. It shows me how it's changing, and it gives us a lot of these different stocks that are players in this automobiles and auto parts section, which is part of that transportation infrastructure. And one more, I'm not going to waste your guys' time with all of these screeners and the stock lists and the watch list that can be populated. You can do this all on your own, and I'm going to show you how to make a simple screener at the end of this video. But here we go again, construction and engineering, right? All that transportation, fixing the railroads, fixing the highways, fixing the transit system, all that's going to take construction and engineering type of stocks and sectors that are going to be primed to explode. Some are going to win, some are going to lose, but it's our job to create our own watch list and make sure we follow the ones that have a good track record and are the most likely to succeed. Looking at manufacturing, where the plan dictates $300 billion for manufacturing. This includes disaster resiliency, bolstering domestic production of semiconductors, and supporting domestic manufacturers. Now, I'm excited about this part because I'm really looking at this domestic manufacturing and monitoring domestic industrial capacity, because far too long has it been that we haven't bought things that are made in America, okay? I'm a big made in America thing. I believe that there's no reason why a superpower of our caliber can't produce all these things that we outsource to other nations and bring in through their economies, and we pay their expensive prices because they know that we're going to pay it. And I don't know, but we need to start making things here back in the US, and I'm looking forward to this domestic manufacturing because we need to get back to work. We need to produce the best things. We need to be that super player on the global economy where people are like, man, let's buy this because it's made in the USA, and we know that that's a trusted brand. So we need to get back to that again. Also, you see that it has the clean energy, small businesses, which is huge because they've been beat up during this pandemic. Pandemic preparedness, that's a big one too, because lessons learned approach, right? We kind of did a little reaction. We kind of knee-jerked with this pandemic when it kicked off, right? But you always learn more from your failures than you do your successes. So we're putting things into motion, and we're going to make sure that we're prepared for a similar event in the future. Now, obviously, you can't prepare for everything. You can't mitigate risk down to zero, but we can at least learn from our mistakes and put in those preparation tools and those companies to be on the watch out and to look for these different things, so this doesn't happen on this big of a scale in the near future. This is a big one, job creation and research. This includes hundreds of billions of dollars in investment in workforce development, research development. White House is also requesting $50 billion for National Science Foundation. All right, so you can see the breakout there. The top four really don't have much difference in the money that's being spent or proposed to be spent in there. Then you got climate technology, innovation, job creation, research, underserved communities. Now, I want to talk a little bit about workforce development and innovation, job creation. So one thing that the pandemic showed us is that we can work from home, and we don't need to be in the office to actually produce and at times be more productive in our normal 9 to 5 jobs. Okay, you're starting to see that trend of people working from home, and they're using, VPNs and Microsoft Teams and Zooms and stuff like this. And I'm thinking that we're going to still see this type of trend moving forward, because there was studies and research done that actually showed that people were happier, job satisfaction was higher, they were more productive, and cost as far as the company was concerned was actually lower because people were working from home. So look for this to continue. We're also talking about underlying stocks that deal with these type of things, all right? So software, IT services, network services, all this type of thing come into play. We already see that climate technology, that's a huge part of the Biden administration anyways. So a lot of these underlying stocks and businesses will see some positive upward momentum because of this particular part of the bill. Last but not least, we got the housing, building, utilities. So talking about $40 billion to retrofit existing public housing to address energy efficiency as part of the $213 billion investment to create a more affordable housing options. We're also looking at money towards water infrastructure and replacing all the lead pipes in the country. An additional $100 billion would go towards expanding broadband access, especially in rural areas. All right, and here's the breakdown. And like I said, we know that affordable housing, they're really going to focus on getting the lead pipes out of the housing, and they're going to focus on making them energy efficient. So we got that. I want to tone in on the high-speed broadband. Okay, this is going to be huge, in my opinion. 5G is the future, then 6G, and then whatever G after that is going on. This run is going to run everything, okay? It's going to run cars, it's going to run machines, it's going to run houses. All this type of stuff is going to run from the high-speed broadband approach, all right? And there's no reason why we shouldn't be number one or at least number two in this particular industry, because we were one of the pioneers of this particular technology anyways, okay? So I'm a little bitter on that one, but that's okay. And I think that this is going to be huge. We're talking into things, we're talking about AI, we're talking about those self-driving cars, all these things that this technology boomed on here recently. This is where it's all going to come from, and we got to have the infrastructure to back it up. And I look forward to seeing this boom, because it's going to take a lot of machines, and it's going to take a lot of resources, and it's going to take a lot of development, and all these things have underlying stocks that are all going to see upward momentum, and we all need to think about these particular stocks and sectors to get into and ride this train to the moon.
All right, there you have it. Listen, I just want to highlight, remember, next week I'm going to start breaking down the different type of option strategies, specifically aligning with the Greeks, okay? So every day or every video I do, I'm going to break down a different Greek, and we're going to talk about how that works along with your option plays, okay? Options are gaining a lot of steam. There's a lot of potential, a lot of money to be made, okay? But there's some things that we need to know as investors, and especially beginning investors, before we get into options, because it is kind of a gamble, and you can lose a lot of money because you aren't buying into the stocks, at least when you're purchasing the option contract, okay? You're buying into control of 100 shares of the stocks, but you don't own those stocks yet, okay? So we need to understand that stuff, and I want you guys to really pay attention this next week when we talk about the option contracts. But all in all, that's it for the Sunday Motivator, all right? And as always here at Traders War Room, we look at the stock market like a war zone, okay? The stocks and the sectors, those are our battles. We do it together as a team. Remember, we recon, we survey, and we look for the best opportunity to strike so that we can attack, destroy, and conquer the stock market. We do it together. We do it as a team. And as always, if you are ready, follow me, and let's go to war.